where the person that would be entering the information in our maintenance office would show these, because salaries may vary for different employees, that they would have to enter that for that particular employee that was doing that job, so that this could be calculated. Is that right?
Exactly. So when you assign these out, you're assigning them, to this person. That's how it's used is labor costs. But even before that, in the account setup, when you set up your employees, if they are entered in the system here, where are we? Apologize, I don't often fiddle back here in the setup here. Where are we? System users. So when you set up your users here, you give them a cost. So I'm not sure who there in the room was part of the account setup, but that's something that we could hold another training on. If you wanted to learn more about that, our client service team can definitely train you because both of those needs can be met with the product you already mentioned.
Very good. Let me just stop just for a second, please. Any members of the board have any questions at this point, or any issues that you want more specifically asked about?
Would the worker themselves enter the time and cost and everything in, or will they bring it back and Dana, or maybe the secretary?
Debbie's doing that now. She's been doing that for about a month.
Internal
Hours.
discussion.
This is not fine. I just can't really hear, so if anybody has a question,
Well, it was just,
you'll have to
Mrs.
restate it.
Mrs. Smith, one of our board members, had asked who would actually do the entry, whether it be the employee or it be somebody in the maintenance office, and it's someone in the maintenance office that would actually do the entering of the information. That was the
Okay, and if
response.
that's your workflow, that works. We also can have the technician enter that information in as well on the work orders. So kind of saving time if they're already in there.
We kind of like the idea that it be entered at the maintenance office.
Okay.
And that's what we're doing now. That's what we're doing now. She's documenting the hours that they work on a work order. And I've already entered their labor costs for each maintenance worker. And to my knowledge, I believe it's working, isn't it, Debbie? She here?
Yeah, she's here.
Yeah, but it shows, like, whenever they go down in total, and I put those guys in there, like if Cliff and Smear are working together, it shows the total of both of them, like it took 4 hours for one guy to do something.
Yeah, it's a little confusing when you look at it. You think there's only one person, but it's calculated if there's two people on the job. And maybe you guys can solve how we can fix that, is to show two people instead of just one.
Just shows man hours.
Yeah, it's showing total man hours, but we'd like it to show that there's two different people there, so that it doesn't look like one person took 4 hours for the job, because it.
Definitely. So in here, so if we go back, let me just go open that same work order again. And I'm going to go down to transactions again. And since I'm in as an admin, I can go to new labor transaction. And you'll see at the top that there's an employee. It's set to the person who this was assigned out to. But I can easily change it. This is now list all the technicians, all the admins, everybody in the system that would be doing work. So not your requesters, but anybody here. So I can add Van to refresh, and then it says, okay, well, tell me when Van worked on it. So Van worked for 2 hours Monday, and he just worked for a half an hour on Tuesday. So let me save, and I'm going to take it back to the work order, back down to the transaction section where it will break it all out for you. You can see that they'll show the later date first. So the 19th, Scotty and Van, you see both of their hours, and then they're both of their hours for the 18th. And I can go back to transactions, and I can add in, 5 different people. Now, that being said, if you did a report on labor hours for this, it is going to chunk them all together, because for this work order that has to do with HVAC, we're going to throw 5 hours on here, okay? But if you need to see the breakdown, you can find it right on the work order.
So we'd show the total cost of that project, and if we wanted to know more specifics of how much each person worked, they would show us that too.
Exactly.
Okay.
And you can go then report. I mean, our system allows you to specifically report on employees. So I can go run a report on Scotty, get a detailed report, and I can see every work order that he worked on. this is probably the easiest way, especially if you were working on something that was an ongoing project maybe that you left it maybe as an open extended work order, and you could track everybody's hours here. And like I said, so somebody in the maintenance department or your techs could have access to this, to put the hours in.
All right, anything else from the board? Do you all have any other questions? And so am I understanding you that we have the capability already to do this labor component, and the only thing that we don't have is something involving the inventory? Is that, did I understand that correctly?
So with inventory direct, that product allows you to keep stock. So if you have a main warehouse or in your custodial closet that you have, items that you keep on hand, that allows you to keep stock of what you have, and it allows people to request things from that stock. Once they request and they're approved, you would debit it from it, or for your technicians here, if it's in stock, they could issue it out onto their work order, just like I did this filter, this top one here, and it would automatically remove it from your count.
Okay, so that's, once again, we get back to our maintenance, the secretary of maintenance, who does a host of things, would be doing the same thing with the inventory as she would do with the labor. She'd be entering the information and showing that someone took a particular item out of inventory and keeping an ongoing of what the inventory items are, right? By using this
Yeah,
part.
exactly, and keep report and keep counts. The great thing about our inventory products, if you don't like to get below maybe 5 filters before you reorder, because it takes 2 weeks, then it will alert you. You set those low set points as soon as you get low. It alerts you through email and on the homepage of the product to say, hey, you need to reorder. You can also, if you've got it in multiple places, custodial closet, somebody's truck, and the main warehouse, if you've got 10 over on the truck, you can actually transfer some and move them to the different places where you keep your inventory. That's helpful too.
Okay, as far as, is this a set cost for this particular component, the inventory component, or does that vary?
Yeah, well, so all of our modules are based off student enrollment, so just like the maintenance direct product that you purchased, inventory direct is a annual fee. There's a one-time quick start fee, which includes the training, which I am going to recommend that you guys come back and do a little bit of our transaction training with us for maintenance direct, so we can get you doing purchases and labor hours. I would like for somebody to come and do that. The inventory, like I said, the product itself is a one-time fee, which Rebecca Powers is on the line. She can talk about pricing in just a moment. And then the one-time quick start fee that covers the online training and support.
Now, you say a one-time fee, so it's not, there's not an annual cost for that inventory component? Or am I?
The inventory component, yes, there is. There's a one-time training fee, is the one-time fee.
Yeah.
Then there's an annual fee for the product itself. You just never pay for training after the first year.
Okay. Mr. Smith
Yes.
has shared a document with us here that shows some of the pricings that we're kind of passing around here. And so-
Yeah, and Rebecca, I apologize, do you want to add it on there? That's okay, yeah, I have the numbers in front of me just in case I had, sent it a little earlier so that you all would have that for the meeting, but, it is 1771, and 10 cents annually, and the one-time quick start fee that Catherine mentioned is $775.06. And that includes the, NJPA discount that you all, qualify for there. And I also wanted to point out, 'cause I'm not sure if it mentions it directly on the proposal, but your maintenance direct renews at the end of February. So I think I told Dana in the email, that if you all wanted to get started sooner than waiting until, that renewal date, I would throw in now for the end of February free. And that initial term would just run and coincide with maintenance director.
So this first time, for the first year, we're talking roughly $2,500, I guess.
Right, exactly. It'd be
Okay.
about,
And then in year 2, approximately what would our cost be? I want to make sure I understand that correctly.
sure, the first year, which would actually, if you guys started now, would be about 15 months instead of a year. But the first term, your next February would be $2,546.60. That's what the cost to start and pay for February 28th, 2015. After that initial term, it would be $1,771.10 every year after that.
Okay, that's what I wondered, okay, good. Okay, we appreciate that. Anything else from any of the members of the board? Do you have any other questions? I think that pretty well covered me. Dana, did you have anything else that you wanted to get to clarify with me?
I'm good.
He's doing well, he's moving right along here. Now, we're having a regular board meeting, so we do appreciate your all's attention to our issue here. It's something we're interested in. We just wanted to find out a little bit more in detail about it. We'll go on here in just a second and let you all be free, and then we'll consider this and discuss this with the superintendent and Dana Smith, and then we'll decide what direction we want to go. But you provided us the information that we needed, and we sure appreciate that.
Okay. And one question before I let you go. Dana, can I bring you guys back? I'd love to send you to my training department and have them reach out for some of that transaction training.
Yes,
Can I have them contact you?
yes.
Okay, so I'm gonna send that over, and you probably will get an email or a phone call tomorrow. So then you just tell them what date and who you wanna come, and we can get you set up with that purchase and labor, the function you already have, okay?
He said yes, he's agreeable with that. He's passing out papers while he's listening.
Wonderful, okay, and if anybody needs anything, any questions about their product, my email information is there, and Rebecca's also gonna be able to be a resource, then. We appreciate your time.
Thanks very much. Have a good evening.
Hey, Dana,
Yes,
before we disconnect here, sorry, this is Rebecca, I just want to check with you, since Thanksgiving is coming up, would you prefer that I give you a call before the holiday or after the holiday to touch base?
I'll be working most of the week, so we could do it during Thanksgiving week.
Okay, I will give you a call shortly then.
Okay, thank you.
Thank y'all, have a great night.
All right, bye.